Hi everyone, so in this video we'd like to share with you 4 reasons why we prefer to work with lettings agents rather than manage our properties ourselves. So my name's Josh Harrison, and along with my wife Rebecca, we provide homes for other families, and the whole purpose of this channel is just to document our property investing journey and also hopefully offer some insights and suggestions and tips for those who may well be interested in getting involved in property themselves. So if you like the sound of that, then please feel free to subscribe and join us as we tell our story. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but in our previous video, we just came to the end of a refurb, and one of our most recent properties was then staged and professionally photographed. And those photographs are now, as we speak, on Rightmove, and we have had viewings and applications. We even had, as we've had before, applications prior to viewing, which we see as a real compliment and a confirmation that we've bought the right house in the right area, done the right refurb and pitched it at the right price. Just an aside, we would never let a property to a tenant or a family that haven't seen it, but it's a really encouraging step for us. And it also raises the question, well, if you can seemingly do that part of property or a property business reasonably well, then why not just go on to the next logical step and just manage it reasonably well too? I mean, after all, wouldn't it just save you some costs? So here are 4 reasons why we work with lettings agents. The first one, it's just not enjoyable. I have personally let one of our properties out. The tenants were lovely, but the administrative process really was like pulling teeth. Having to get their ID, populate an AST, find a guarantor, get them to sign it and co-sign it, get a deposit, register the deposit. It just wasn't much fun. So first reason, I don't enjoy it. I'd like someone else to do it for me, and someone who actually may well enjoy doing that sort of task. The second reason is legislation. It may well come as a bit of a surprise to know that as a landlord, it would be your responsibility to be compliant with over 100 pieces of legislation. Now, you can't, let's be very clear, you can't delegate your responsibility to anyone else. It is ultimately your responsibility. But what you can have is help from a professional team. And in our head, it's a bit like the analogy of a professional athlete. Imagine you've got an Olympic marathon runner. He or she will have help from a wider team of nutritionists, of trainers, telling them what to eat and when to train and how much and how to rest, and doctors to make sure they recover from injury. And that's the analogy that we work with. It is our responsibility. We have to look after our tenants, but you can have help from professionals. And they'll send things through to you, things like, you should have a read of this, or have you watched this video? And they'll help you stay up to date and compliant. So that's, first of all, it's just not enjoyable, and second, there's a lot of legislation which is quite hard to keep on track of, on top of, if you're trying to do it all full time. The third reason then is efficiency. These, if you work with the right lettings agent, have been doing lettings for years and years and years, and they will have processes and they will have systems in place that will now mean that they have a very efficient response to any outcome or any activity in a property or a problem with the tenant that needs your attention. Why try and reinvent the wheel? Just ask them to come alongside and use what they have already got honed and use their experience. Efficiency is massive, and that brings us on to the next one, and this is perhaps the most important one for our point of view, is time. You can be spending your time doing better things, and by that I mean there are 2 things you definitely cannot delegate, and that is finding and buying property and raising private finance. Everything else can be delegated and arguably should be delegated. And it's a phrase that I heard a few months back from a friend of ours called Stephen, who said, you should have a 1,000 unit portfolio. What jobs can't you do if you owned 1,000 properties? And the answer is whatever you put on that list should be outsourced and someone else should be doing it for you. It's just not scalable. So use a lettings agent to help you in that regard. So they're the 4 reasons that we use a lettings agent. If you've got your own reasons why you do or you don't, or you've got questions to this, then please let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, then please let us know by giving it a thumbs up. And if you like the idea of us documenting our journey and you'd like to see what we do and have hints and tips, then please feel free to subscribe. But that's it for this one. My name's Josh Harrison, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.